Fate was something I didn't believe in. Many say that when something good or bad happens, it depends on your fate. Whereas I believe it's just what you think and do. If you do something good, you get a good favor and vice versa. My dad was one of those who believes in fate. God knows what he is up to nowadays. He is not at home almost every day and spends the entire time outside, and whenever I ask him what was going on, he would just reply. But when it comes to your partner, I choose to believe in fate, because when you meet a person for the first time, you never know whether they are going to be with you forever or not. So, whoever is written in my fate, I may also be written in theirs. I backed off from my thoughts when there was continuous ringing of the bell, followed by loud bangings on the door. Who was so impatient that they couldn't wait for a few seconds. I ran to open the door with a frown on my face, ready to lash out on that impatient being, but stopped when I saw two tall and huge men in suits who entered my house without any warning. You were lashing out on them violently when you heard a deep and husky voice from behind, and you turned to see to whom it belonged to, but frowned. He said as he went and sat on the sofa comfortably by keeping both his legs on a small table in front of the sofa. You got furious by his actions and called out to your dad quickly. You yelled lastly, removing all the anger that had built up inside as your dad wasn't responding. Your yell made the bodyguards flinch and gulp in astonishment, and stood properly again as the man on the sofa just smirked at your outbreak and kept looking at you, which he was doing the moment he sat down. He smiled at his own introduction and raised his hand for a handshake, but you were too shocked to react when he said Mafia. He looked at your shocked face and retrieved his hand back and continued. You entered his living room all by yourself as 𝐓𝐡𝐞 said that he would be back in a few minutes. You were noticed by the caretaker of the house, who was probably a 42-45 years old lady. He waited for you to sign as he kept his hands inside his pant pockets. He was wearing an all-black shirt with top 2 buttons unbuttoned, black pants and his sleeves rolled up, which made him look so attractive. You looked at him with a glare and took the papers and signed them and handed them over to him without looking at him. You were about to take your hand back, but he held your wrist as you looked at him at his sudden action. He placed a beautiful diamond ring in your ring finger. You looked at him taken aback as he said, You entered his room, but you didn't want to sleep on the bed. You saw a couch and decided to sit there for a while and wait for 𝐓𝐡𝐞 so that you can ask him where I'm supposed to sleep. A few hours passed by, but he still didn't arrive. You kept waiting for him but eventually fell asleep on the couch. It's late night at 2 a.m. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 arrived and saw you sleeping on the couch with your head lying on the headrest of the couch. He thought that it seemed uncomfortable that way you were sleeping because you might get neck pain as you wake up. He approached you and lifted you up with his arms in a bridal style, making sure that you don't wake up, and made you lie on the bed and covered your body with a warm comforter, which instantly made you feel comfortable. He smiled slightly, looking at you, and bent forward slightly to your face and thought, You woke as you heard shower noises from the bathroom. You rubbed your eyes and sat up and noticed that you were in bed and not on the couch. You thought that 𝐓𝐡𝐞 might have done it when you heard the door of the bathroom open as he came out well dressed in formals and all black. You came into the dining room and saw 𝐓𝐡𝐞 sitting on the head chair of the table and talking to someone on his phone. You came and sat on the right side of the head chair and waited for him to finish his call. The food was now placed in front of you both. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 ended the call and saw you haven't started eating yet. He frowned and asked, You started going to college as your final year in medicine, which would give you a doctoral internship. A guard was kept for you to pick and drop you to college as it was 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐌𝐚𝐟𝐢𝐚 because of his Mafia background. It was time to pick you up from college, but you didn't arrive in the car. You usually take a few minutes leaving the college, but this time it has been more than 15 minutes. Your guard went into the college to inquire about you to your classmates who were in the hallway, but they said you left already. The guard panicked and went towards the principal office to check the CCTV footage of the exit. He checked and saw you didn't even wait for him but left somewhere. He immediately called 𝐓𝐡𝐞 to inform about you.